Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Mike.
And I'm Angeline.
And Angeline, I know you are a busy young woman. You're always on the go. You have a busy social life. Of course, your job keeps you busy. So when you leave the home in the morning, what are 3 things that you couldn't possibly live without? Things that you couldn't get through your busy day without bringing with you. What would be 3 things?
3? I only have 3 things to pick from?
Well, the top 3, let's say. The 3 that you would be most lost without.
Okay, I think I would need my cell phone.
Okay, yeah, I would agree.
My cell phone in case anything happens and I need to call for help.
Absolutely.
Okay, the second thing would be my wallet.
Money, you gotta buy stuff.
We do need money.
Sure.
And I guess the third thing would be, okay, this might be weird, don't laugh at me.
Okay.
But alcohol.
What?
Or hand sanitizer.
Oh, I see. Not for drinking, but for keeping yourself clean and avoiding colds and things like that. That's a good one. I would never have thought of that. My third would be, and maybe you'd also didn't think of this, my keys.
Ah, right.
I couldn't get back home without my
Your
keys.
house keys, that's true.
But it's interesting because with your list, you said cell phone or smartphone first. That would have been the exact same thing I would have said first. So today, we'll be looking at adventures at the cell phone shop, finding out all about everyone's favorite little electronic companion, the cell phone.
Reading.
Adventures at the cell phone shop. Pat is staring at his cell phone. This phone is driving me up the wall. I might need to replace it.
Why? It still looks like it's brand new.
Its performance is terrible. I can't fully charge it anymore. My battery dies within 2 hours.
I see how that could be a problem.
Plus, I can't download any new apps. They won't work on my phone.
When did you buy your phone?
I got it in 2010.
Oh my God, that's so old. Every product has a life cycle. You need an upgrade.
I'm not much of a tech guy. What can newer phones do?
A lot more. They're faster, they have more storage space, and the cameras are way better.
Are there any phones you can suggest?
There are so many models to choose from. Let's go to the phone store and check them out.
Pat agrees, and they head to the store.
Okay, so let's take a look at what Pat and Laura are up to today. Our article tells us that Pat is staring at his cell phone. Okay, so let's take a look at what the word stare means. It's a verb, and it means to look at something for a long time without moving your eyes. So it's kind of like all your attention is focused on what you are looking at. Let's use it in an example sentence. Everyone stared at the beautiful model as she walked through the door.
Interesting. I'm sure they did. And if you're the type of person who's always online, you're probably, staring at your cell phone, just like Pat. What is a cell phone? Well, it's a type of telephone. That's T-E-L-E-P-H-O-N-E. But of course, telephones are attached by a wire to a wall or something like that. You can't walk around with them. Cell phones were the first phones that you were able to walk around with or leave your home while carrying, and it would still work. The cell is short for cellular. That's C-E-L-L-U-L-A-R. And that's kind of a technology, the way the signal gets passed around, the way you get that call to your cell phone is through cellular technology. That's such a long word. Let's just call them cell phones. And of course, today, with our cell phones being able to go online and, downloading things and sending email, they've become smartphones. But I think for most people today, a cell phone, a smartphone, these are the phones we carry around. For an example sentence, we could say cell phones first became popular in the 1980s.
I remember they used to be really big.
The big Motorola brick.
Yeah,
it's probably worth thousands of dollars now.
Yeah?
Like an old car or something, but I don't know if it would work.
Okay, so Pat begins our conversation today by saying, "This phone is driving me up the wall."
Whoa.
Drive somebody up the wall is our shortcut for you for this unit. Let's take a short break to learn more about this phrase.
Shortcut for you.
So, what did you write for number 3?
I wrote 315. Is that what you wrote?
Yeah, I hope it was right. I want to get 100 on this test.
Sure you did. Don't worry about it.
I can't help it. Hey, can you stop humming? You're driving me up the wall.
Is there something on the wall? Is it a bug? Kill it!
No, I mean your humming is driving me up the wall. Drive somebody up the wall means to bother or upset somebody. It's another way of saying to drive somebody crazy.
So, this humming is driving you up the wall, or in Chinese means 把你逼疯，让你大为光火.
Yes, now can you please stop it?
Nope, I love this song.
Mike, you know what really drives me up the wall?
A car driven by a spider?
That would actually be pretty cute.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, not that driving up the wall. What makes you crazy? Let's see. People talking when you're trying to read or concentrate.
That is actually pretty annoying.
It can be annoying.
Yeah, but actually I hate the sound of a pen clicking non-stop.
Oh, really?
You know the sound of...
When people open and close a pen?
Yeah, and they continually click on it.
I wish I had a pen right now.
It drives me crazy.
Well, that's why I'd like to see you get driven crazy. What is it? Just because it's loud and goes on and on and on?
Yeah, it goes on and
Okay.
on and on.
All right, I can see that. Yeah, and often people do it when they're like annoyed or trying to hurry you or, it makes you stressed out,
Yeah.
I guess. All right, well, let's get back to Pat. Pat says, I might need to replace it. Ah, yes, okay. So he's talking about his phone. It's driving him up the wall. It's probably getting a little old, and that's why he thinks of replacing it or getting a new one to take the place of the old one. He'll throw the old one away and then start using the new one.
Okay, so Laura hears this and asks him why it still looks like it's brand new. Okay, so if something is brand new, it is new and it hasn't been used. So if you shop online for maybe second-hand goods or things that other people are selling privately, sometimes the ad might say brand new in box, which means this item has never even been opened, so it's definitely not used.
That's right. And if you buy something from the store, the minute you buy it, it's brand new. Brand new shoes always look so good, don't they?
Don't they all white and
And you
shiny?
wear them and they get dirty and they're not brand new anymore. Anyways, back to Pat, still complaining about his phone. Having a phone that doesn't work well, it is frustrating.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it can bring lots of small troubles to your busy day. And Pat says its performance is terrible. Basically, it works very badly. It might work, but it's slow and, it just causes him all sorts of trouble, makes everything more difficult. And it can't fully, I can't fully charge it anymore. Yes, most of you know that the power that your phone works off is electricity, and every day or so you have to plug it into the wall and charge it. That means to replace it or to fill it up with more electricity. You're filling up the battery. That's B-A-T-T-E-R-Y. When you're charging something, and if you do charge it overnight, for example, you should have enough power to use it during the day. We also can use charge as a noun, right? You can say, I have a full charge in my phone, meaning the battery is 100% full. It's good for many hours. For example, we could say, Derek couldn't listen to music on the airplane. He forgot to charge his phone.
That would suck.
That's the worst when you get out in the morning and you realize you only have 20% on your phone. You always charge your phone, kids.
But thank goodness for those, what are those called? Portable chargers.
Oh, yeah, those portable chargers, portable batteries allow you to charge it anywhere. But then sometimes I forget to charge the battery.
Then you really...
Then I can't charge the phone.
Okay, so Pat tells Laura why this is a problem. He says, my battery dies within 2 hours.
Ooh, that's fast.
So, Mike earlier, he mentioned battery, B-A-T-T-E-R-Y. Your battery is what gives your phone power. Okay, so it produces electricity. Without a battery, your phone wouldn't work. Let's use the word battery in an example sentence. This lamp can run on batteries, or it can be plugged into the wall.
Okay, and then we continue with Laura, and she's starting to understand all the difficulty Pat is having. She says, I see how that could be a problem. She understands or sees how all of these things are difficult and annoying for Pat.
So the battery isn't the only problem. Pat says, plus, I can't download any new apps. We have a few words to look at in this sentence. Let's first look at our vocabulary word, download. To download something means to move information or a program from a computer network to another computer or a cell phone. For example, Agatha downloads music off the internet.
And Pat was complaining that he couldn't download apps. Now, first of all, they are apps. They're not APP or APPs. App is short for the longer word application, A-P-P-L-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. An application is basically like a word that Angeline just used, a program, right? A program is something that your computer will use to make things happen. It could be a program that helps you write papers or play games or do all sorts of things. Well, an app is basically a program on a cell phone or on a smartphone. So when you download Twitter or YouTube or Google or Facebook, any of those things that you might download and have a little picture on the screen of your phone, those are all individual apps, applications, or smartphone programs.
Okay, so Pat tells Laura that when he tries to download new apps, they won't work on my phone.
Ah, yes, that happens with the old phones. And so Laura's wondering about that. She says, when did you buy your phone? She wants to know how old the phone is.
Okay, you're going to get a little shock here because Pat responds by saying, I got it in 2010.
2010? 7 years ago? That's a long time ago.
That's, yeah, for a cell phone,
That's
usually.
ancient. That's like a dinosaur, basically. He should put his phone in a museum. And Laura has the same reaction we do. She says, oh my God, that's so old. I don't know if I would be quite that shocked. But yes, it definitely is old. I think an old phone might be 3 or 4 years old. I would say it would already be time to get a new one. And as Laura points out, every product has a life cycle. Yes, a life cycle is basically a period of life, right? So for people, your life cycle would be from the day you're born as a baby to the day you die, right? And that's about a 70, 80-year life cycle. If you're a mosquito, your life cycle would be a few days or something like that. So basically, the time when a phone it works the best, the time that you can use a phone before you need to replace it, or as Laura says, before you need an upgrade. And an upgrade is an improvement, something that is similar in many ways, but better. So every time you get a new phone, you're getting an upgrade. Every time you go from the sort of the normal part of the airplane to business class, ooh, that's an upgrade. Bigger seats, better food. It's the same thing. You're traveling by plane, but it's in a slightly better version, a slightly better form. So basically, she's saying your phone is old. It's reached the end of its life cycle. You need an upgrade. You need a new, better, faster phone.
I guess all of this this is all new information to Pat. Because
yeah, he seems like the kind of guy who doesn't really mind too much about using all this old stuff.
He says, I'm not much of a tech guy.
Yeah.
So tech is short for technology. Technology, technology. So computers, cell phones, machines are all forms of technology. So if Pat is not much of a tech guy, he means that he doesn't know much about technology.
Yeah, he's not concerned with having the newest phone or what's the latest version of PlayStation or anything like that. So he asks a good question because, of course, a new phone will cost money. So he wants to know, what can newer phones do? Well, how will it be upgraded? What improvements will I notice?
So Laura tells him a lot more.
Ooh.
They're faster. Ooh. They have more storage space. And the cameras are way better.
Yay.
So we see the word storage in this sentence, and it refers to the computer's ability to keep information. So the bigger your storage space, the more information you can keep on your computer. So that means you can put more music, you can take more photos, you can download more apps.
Yep. All that's usually measured by GB or gigabytes or gigs, as we say. A lot of phones are like 16, 32, 64,
yeah, and like some of them go up to 200,
gigs,
yeah.
256. Wow, you could put everything in the world on your tiny little phone. So Pat's curious about this. He's getting more interested, and so he asks a good practical question, a good useful question. Are there any phones you can suggest? Let's talk about companies. Let's talk about makes, Samsung, Apple, that type of thing. He wants to know which ones are good.
Okay, well, Laura points out to him that there are so many models to choose from.
So many, it can be confusing.
Okay, so the word model refers to a particular design or a type of product. Let's take the car brand Toyota, for example.
Okay.
Toyota designs many different cars,
and
right?
Trucks.
That's true, too. So each design is a model.
Okay, so there's the little one with 2 doors, the bigger family-sized one with 4 doors, the truck for people who carry heavy things. These are different models by the same company.
Exactly.
Like Samsung had a problem with one of the new models of one of their phones a few months ago, right? It was blowing up. That doesn't mean all Samsung models are bad. Just that one had a few problems. That model,
particular one,
I think, got canceled, didn't it?
Yeah, I think they had to recall it.
Too dangerous or something like that. Anyways, yeah, so do we have an example sentence for model?
Yes, we do.
Really?
Billy changes his cell phone very often and always wants to buy the latest model.
Ah, okay. Notice here, we're not talking about models like people, like very beautiful people who wear clothes for pictures. That's a different type of model. Anyway, back to Laura. She has a good suggestion. She says, let's go to the phone store and check them out. Yeah, when you check something out, you go look at it, find out more information. So basically, she's saying you don't have to decide which model to buy now. Let's go to the phone store and ask some questions, look at them, see which one you like, and then hopefully they'll be able to decide which is the best new phone for Pat.
Okay, so to end off our article for day 1, our article tells us that Pat agrees and they head to the store.
Yeah. Great. So they go to the store.
Okay, so we've come to the end of our day 1 article, but please stay tuned for our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, we're back with our chat question right before we wrap it up for today. And of course, we're talking about cell phones, smartphones. Here's a good question. I had to think about this one. When did you buy your cell phone? So when, how old is it? Is it as old as Pat's? And is it still performing as well as it was when you first got it? So does it still work well?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Okay, I have the iPhone 6.
I think that's the one I have.
Yeah, and I think I got it maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
Close to 2 years ago.
Okay.
I would say it's still performing pretty well.
Yeah, good.
I don't think it's slowed down, but
Okay.
the battery probably drains faster than
You
it
noticed
used to.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you?
I think probably around the same time. I'm not the kind of person who has to have the newest model when it comes out. I usually just wait until I can get a new contract. So I think I have a 6. It works quite well. I did, though, download one of those new OS, one of those new operating system programs.
Okay.
It slowed things down a little bit, but I mainly use it for simple things like email and messages, so I'm not playing games. So, it works still quite well.
How about your battery?
Battery still
okay?
is pretty good. I think
Okay,
it's
that's
much
good.
better than the old phone that I had. It seems to last all day quite easily, so that's a good thing. How about you guys? Are you happy with your phone? When did you get it? How old is it? Is it working well? Here's your chance to complain about all the annoying things that your phone is doing, or maybe to celebrate your phone for being so wonderful. But you can have a chat about that, and we'll see you back here very soon for more smartphone fun with Pat and Laura.
Adventures at the cell phone shop. Pat is staring at his cell phone. This phone is driving me up the wall. I might need to replace it.
Why? It still looks like it's brand new.
Its performance is terrible. I can't fully charge it anymore. My battery dies within 2 hours.
I see how that could be a problem.
Plus, I can't download any new apps. They won't work on my phone.
When did you buy your phone?
I got it in 2010.
Oh my god, that's so old. Every product has a life cycle. You need an upgrade.
I'm not much of a tech guy. What can newer phones do?
A lot more. They are faster, they have more storage space, and the cameras are way better.
Are there any phones you can suggest?
There are so many models to choose from. Let's go to the phone store and check them out.
Pat agrees, and they head to the store.
Vocabulary Review.
Stare. Everyone stared as the beautiful fireworks burst in the sky. Cell phone. Meredith is always taking pictures of herself with her cell phone. Charge. Sam always charges his cell phone before he goes to bed at night. Battery. These special headphones don't have wires and have a battery life of 8 hours. Download. Max likes to download movies and watch them at home with his friends. Model. The latest phone model from the company is better than everyone's expectation.